post-traumatic stress disorder, that's a condition that develops after exposure to a really traumatic event. I've described, for example, combat veterans who suffer from military sexual trauma or MST, survivors of sexual assault, survivors of domestic violence. Symptoms of PTSD could be really, really debilitating and really intrusive. In order to get clinically diagnosed with PTSD, you have to have these symptoms that fall into category of intrusive thoughts. Those could include nightmares. They can include flashbacks. We have spouses of veterans who report, these night terrors and how their husbands wake up and sometimes they don't even realize for a moment exactly where they're located.
Right.
Um,
Yeah. I've heard that.
you could have symptoms such as reminders or avoidance of places or things that remind you of trauma you suffered. It could result in really significant, negative changes in your thoughts and your mood. People can feel like super detached. They could have really negative view of themselves and the world. It affects their arousal. It affects how they react and interact with things. You could be really irritable, super hyper vigilant. I see that a lot with veteran population and survivors of abuse. Domestic abuse or sexual abuse. Difficulty with sleep is quite common. So if you think about all of these symptoms, and if you look at the definition and you realize that in order to be diagnosed with this, they have to be persistent, they have to last for a long period of time and cause significant distress, you can begin to understand, wow, this person is dealing with a lot. This isn't just a snapshot of a person's life that we're looking at, that somebody yelled at someone and pulled out a gun. There are some reasons
Hmm.
why this happened. And once you realize that what you saw on the day of the incident, what a police officer observed and documented in their report, was just the tip of the iceberg, and there is 99% of the iceberg below it, and you explain to your prosecutor, to your judge, to the probation officer, all of the reasons why a person acted a certain way, you're going to obtain a vastly different outcome in a criminal case